ready for episode 2 of the Wolverine Football Vodcast, coming at you right now. Alright folks, thanks for joining me again. This is episode 2. Today we're going to get into talking about the offensive depth chart. We'll go down the 2 deep, in some cases 3 deep on the depth chart real quick here and let you know who's going to be starting the game on Saturday. Projected starters, I guess I should say. I'm gonna make my best guesses here at who we're going to have on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll get started right away with the offensive line, the big guys up front. In the center of the offense, starting up front, we've got Andrew Vastardis winning the job at center. He's a graduate student, been around for a while, hasn't started before, but he's an experienced guy in the program and reportedly been a really good communicator up front, and that's what you need out of a center to get those guys to be on the same page up there. So moving out from the center position out to the guards, on the right side, we've got Andrew Stuber starting on the right guard, and he's going to be backed up by Trevor Keegan, most likely. And then on the left side, we've got a battle between 2 guys. Chuck Filyaga, the senior, battling it out with Carson Barnhart, a sophomore, who is pushing him over there. And it sounds like Filyaga might have the job, but I'm not sure about that. It could be a last-minute decision for us. The center position I didn't mention before is going to be backed up by Zach Carpenter, another sophomore. Those 3 sophomores, Barnhart, Carpenter, and Keegan, have been coming along nice, and we're excited to see those guys get in the mix. On the tackle position, the 2 bookends. On the left side, we've got Ryan Hayes, who stepped in and took a leadership role when we thought Jalen Mayfield wasn't coming back. He's backed up by Trente Jones, who has been mentioned a couple times by coaches as making some big improvements. And then on the right side, we've got the leadership of Jalen Mayfield coming back. He almost opted out for the NFL, and then decided to come back when the Big Ten went ahead with the fall season. So we've got him back as the only returning full-time starter. And then he's backed up by a true freshman who was a monster of a young man, 6'6", 334-pound true freshman out of North Andover, Massachusetts, Zach Zinter. And he might be the guy who comes in as the 6th man at times. I think he can play either right guard or right tackle. So that's the offensive line. A quick look at the offensive line. Moving back to the tight ends, we've got Nick Eubanks. He's been around for a while. He's going to be the starter. He's backed up by Eric All and Luke Schoonmaker, who will both be getting in the action. I've heard a lot of good things about Eric All in the offseason. He's been improving a lot. The fullback is going to be, of course, Ben Mason. He's moved back over from the defense. And I don't really have a second fullback right now, clearly, but we're not going to use a lot of fullback probably. This Josh Cadence offense, getting away from the old I formation, unless it's in short yardage situations for the most part. So that's the fullbacks and the tight ends. Then we'll talk real quick about probably the deepest running back room in the country. We've got a stable of great running backs led by Zach Charbonnet. He's going to be the number 1 guy, probably pounding it between the tackles. Another guy who runs a lot like him, a hard runner up in between the tackles, Hassan Haskins. And then we're going to have Chris Evans coming back after being out for a year, and he's a really versatile guy. He's probably going to be the guy who comes in a little more on third downs maybe, and in passing situations. He's a good pass protector. He's going to get out and in the passing game and get into the screen passes and swing passes, things like that. And then we've got a true freshman running back, Blake Corum, who might get in the mix, who's a quick little athletic guy who coaches are really excited about as a freshman. Christian Turner, of course, joining us again this year, opting back in, and he'll be the 5th guy in that room, adding some depth, and you always need depth at the running back position. So now everybody's been waiting to talk about quarterback. I'm going to wait till last to talk about the quarterbacks here. Receivers first. the receiving room has lost a lot of talent. We lost Nico Collins, of course, Tariq Black transferring, DPJ in the NFL. But we got Ronnie Bell stepping up. Ronnie Bell's been doing great in the offseason, it sounds like, making himself more versatile as a receiver. And then he's going to start along with probably Cornelius Johnson, I'm thinking, is going to be the X receiver. He's a bigger guy, 6'3", a little over 200 pounds. He's more that X receiver body type where he can go up and get contested balls and use his body in the red zone. And then also Mike Sainer still is going to be right in the mix there with those guys. He's made some big improvements. He was really impressive, I thought, last year. Good route runner. Backing up the receivers, we'll go through real quick. The X receiver backing up out there, another bigger guy, Nate Shanley. He's 6'2", a little over 200 pounds, so he can play a little bit of that X receiver. Giles Jackson's going to be right there in the mix at the slot position. And then we have two speedster true freshmen, Roman Wilson and AJ Henning. Both can fly. They're going to be really fun to watch as they develop. Jake McCurry might even get in the mix there. We saw a little bit of him last year, the senior. So a lot of receivers there we'll see getting some playing time, I think, mixing in and out in different packages. All right, last but not least, everybody's been waiting to hear about the quarterbacks, and there's been a lot of hype. Joe Milton is, in some people's eyes, already a superstar, and he hasn't even started a game yet. So I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that until we see him play a couple games. But I am really excited about the tools he has in his toolbox. He's a big guy, 6'5", 243. He can run, and he's got a rocket firm arm. Josh Gaddis said he's been improving his accuracy, and all the guys on the roster have been talking about how impressive he's been. Gaddis said he's been the most improved player on the team, and that's great to hear out of your starting quarterback. The guy backing him up is going to be Cade McNamara. Gaddis says there's not a huge drop-off there. He's not going to call the game any different when McNamara is in the game. He's not a game manager. He's going to be another guy that we can go to if, God forbid, Joe Milton gets hurt or we have some COVID issues on the team. We have a solid number 2 quarterback. So that's it. That's your depth chart for the offense, as far as I can tell for the start of the season. And that obviously that's fluid. It could change throughout the year, but a lot of good things to look forward to. A lot of concerns and worries replacing guys on the roster. But we will find out on Saturday against the Golden Gophers. Please tune in again. We'll have another depth chart video on the defense coming up soon. And then later in the week, I will do a preview of the Minnesota Golden Gophers for Saturday's game as we get ready to kick off the 2020 football season. It's like Christmas around here for me, a kid on Christmas when the football season starts. My fiance really can't stand it that that's all I think about on Saturdays and most of the week for that matter. So join us next time. Please hit me up in the comments if you have anything to add about the depth chart. You have any questions, I'll engage you there in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and join us next time. Please like this video and share it with your friends and the Michigan football social media groups all around Facebook and other places. Thanks a lot for joining us again, and go Blue.